Once I got there, I spent a couple of weeks there the first time. I talked to a victim. I talked to someone who'd been a blackmail photographer. I acquired some documentation, and people were so frightened to talk about this. It was like I was doing an expose on the KGB in Stalinist Russia. And I was followed, and at one point, and then on my last night there, I had a death threat. Before the death threat, I had come to the conclusion that this thing was not localized to Nebraska or Omaha, that it was, in fact, a nationwide network that was protected by the federal government. And my mind was certainly open to intelligence connections, which I would find in the Franklin scandal. Very similar to what we've seen in the Epstein case. What I ultimately concluded, and I do believe that I proved this in the Franklin scandal, it was bigger than Jeffrey Epstein's network. Jeffrey Epstein's network was children for about 30 years. I think the Franklin network was probably children for about 12 years. And most of the kids either came from near Washington, D.C. or Omaha. And it was run by two pimps. So what I uncovered was this huge nationwide network that did have links to some dark, malignant corner of U.S. intelligence, very similar to Epstein. And it was ultimately covered up by the Department of Justice and the FBI, and then also state authorities too. So when it comes to grand juries, they're notoriously easy to corrupt. But the size of the Franklin network, that required 3 grand juries to cover up, as opposed to the Epstein network that required just 1, kind of gives you an indication that it was a much bigger